last year's summit, we released, I'm going to go off, I have some words prepared, obviously, as you can tell. Just out of curiosity, the governor mentioned, the amount of people that we have here this year, what we had last year. Just by a show of hands, how many people were at the summit last year? Oh, okay, keep your hands up, I got to count them. So 1, 2, about a third, it looks like. That's exciting. I'm glad to see more hands weren't raised than were. It's just interesting, and I do believe that this will be something. I'll talk about that at the end of the session here. What we're gonna do next with all this. But at last year's summit, for those of you that were here, we released the 2009 logistics report. It was titled "A Focus on Providers," and looked at really a base set of definitions of what logistics is, which is important, so we can all have the same playbook. For those of you again that were there last year, I talked about the rules of the game, and then quantified that. Its impact, as well as the flow of freight that the governor referred to all over our state and throughout the country. This year we build on that foundation with the theme of fueling competitiveness. You can see a snapshot on the cover of this year's report. You'll be happy to know it's about 1.5 times longer than it was last year. Not that I'm proud of that, but there's a lot of great material in that report that you'll see on Monday. We build on that foundation. In the agenda material you have in front of you, there's a real brief, I think, one-page summary and executive overview that sort of outlines some of the material we're going to cover here today with some of our speakers. The full report is a comprehensive overview of a few of those areas that affect the logistics industry the most. We call these areas the 5 factors of logistics competitiveness. There are others, but these are some of the highest and the most important, I think, of the group. These factors are policy, and you can read this in your one-page overview: policy, infrastructure, operations, technology, and workforce. Throughout the day, I'm going to be injecting just a few ideas of these factors, so the material that you hear from the presenters and from the questions you have for the panel and the material you read in the report will all tie together. The report is not a how-to guide. That's not possible, frankly. It is a valuable resource that you'll be able to use to, frankly, be able to ask more detailed questions, explore certain areas of your business, and be able to ask us questions on how we can be a better partner to you in the private industry. The goal of the report and also of the summit is to educate, to share information across that ecosystem that is logistics, help defragment it in a way to bring 800 people together from across the industry. Has never been done before, really anywhere in the United States. If we took a quick survey of the kind of companies that are here today and the representatives that are here. And also to keep a focused and active conversation around freight movement and freight and logistics in our state. That's going to be an important driver, as the governor alluded to, for our economy for many, many years through 2050 and beyond. And again, you guys are critical parts of making that happen. The governor, it's a great problem when the governor reinforces some of the talking points you have as well, so we're all, again, singing from the same hymn book. During the regional sessions for the Freight and Logistics Task Force that we helped pull together, we asked a pretty simple question: what can Georgia do to be a better partner to the private industry? And we've got a few representatives of that task force. Mark Holofield from Home Depot, Warren Jones is here, and if I missed any others, some of the task force members that helped us drive that forward are here today. So thank you for coming. You're going to hear from Todd Long in a minute to talk about one of our first factors, which is, I just cheated. So factor 1 is policy. And on these slides, I just throw up a couple of topics that are involved in that factor. Policy is obviously one of the broad in nature, and covers such topics and opportunities like stimulus and the Tiger Grant program, regulations that affect the number of hours that truckers can drive on the roads and the weight of the loads that they can carry. This can and does have an effect on the competitiveness of companies. While broad in nature, definitely for those companies that are prepared and understand those issues and challenges with regards to policy, can be more competitive in many ways. So here this morning, as the governor has alluded to as well, is Todd Long. He's the director of planning for the Department of Transportation, appointed by Governor Perdue just recently. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the business case that is being developed for creating that plan for freight and logistics movement throughout our state, as well as the broader envelope of transportation movement in Georgia. So without further ado, please welcome Todd Long.